Hey, it's Chris here today from Huckabones Equipment. Today behind me you'll see two lawnmowers from Kubota. We have the T2090 gas unit as well as the diesel GR2120. In today's video we're going to do a short little overview of the two units as well as doing a head-to-head comparison. The three tests we're going to do is turning radius as well as going up a steep slope and then cutting in some long grass. So it's going to give you an idea what the units are capable of, show a little bit of the differences and why one is quite a bit more than the other. So stick with us, we'll jump right to the overviews. What is a T2090? Well, it is part of the T-Series lineup from Kubota. That means there's three models from Kubota. There's the T2090, which we see here, and then after that there's the T2290, which is powered by Kawasaki, and either comes in 42 or 48 inch mower decks with a few other options, making them different between the two models. But sticking with the T2090, it is a Briggs & Stratton engine under there, 20 horsepower. It is fully hydrostatic, two-piece pedal over there, so you got your forward-reverse pedal. The operating station, nice and big, lots of room there. Nice high back seat. You can get two options available for it. You can get armrest or suspension seat. One downside to any of the Kubota lawnmowers is no tilt steering. You won't see it on any lineup until you get to the BX1880. After that, when you move a little bit lower to that mower deck, again, this whole unit is belt driven. I should mention that as well. So whether it's the engine belt, transmission belt, or the deck belt powering those blades, all three belts there, which you're going to see on most units out there, whether it be your John Deere's, Husqvarna's, Cub Cadets, all run the three belt system. That mower deck itself is the exact same deck you're going to see on the Z231-42. Again, rock solid deck, pretty awesome, two blade system, two very heavy blades in there. You know, it's not a piece of sheet metal. It does cut grass and for a very long time. After that, it does have 5 inches of depth there, so that really helps whenever you're going through some of the long grass, which we're going to see today, see what it is capable of for cutting that way. After that, whenever you get actually to the front axle as well as the whole body of the unit, is very rigid, very strong, not something you're going to be busting up or bending going across some rough ground. So it is the entry-level unit from Kubota. Now let's move on to the overview of the GR2120 to see what it brings to the table. So when talking about a GR2120, obviously on our channel we have quite a number of videos dealing with it, but to rehash it all with the GR2120, in the GR lineup from Kubota there's two models. You got the GR2020 and the GR2120. What's the difference between the two? 2020 is a gas model, 2120 diesel. The gas comes in a 48, diesel either have a choice of 48 or 54, the 54 being quite a bit more popular because the upgrade for that isn't very expensive. Most people want to cut the grass quicker, you're going to do that with a 54 inch. After that, what makes a GR so special? Well, it is a lawn tractor, not a lawn mower. Basically, whenever you're looking at this, especially the diesel end of it, it's basically a BX without a front loader or 3-point hitch. Again, whenever you're dealing with the engine under there, it is 18 horsepower. You'll hear in other videos, and myself included, talk about it being a 21 horse. Well, if you look at literature from 5, 6, 7 years ago, they referred to it as 21 horsepower. Now it's down to 18. Nothing has changed in the engine, just the way they rate them. So to save on the argument there, that it is either an 18 or 21 horsepower, depending on what you want to say. What is so special about this unit? Well, it's all shaft driven as well. So it cuts down on the belts, makes it a lot more powerful with that transfer there. So instead of an engine or transmission belt, again, it's all shaft, and then the only belt left then after that is on your mower deck itself, just like any other lawn tractor or lawnmower out there. After that, whenever you deal with the operator station, very comfortable. You'll see a nice high back seat with the suspension to it. Armrests are an option, strongly recommended. After that, you'll see the pedal for forward reverse is now one piece instead of two piece. Pros and cons to that, depending on the operator. And then moving a little bit further back, it is being all hydrostatic transmission, very heavy duty unit at that. On the front end of this, it is all-wheel drive. See that in the test whenever we're going up a steep hill, that it's going to be very nimble and very light and just climb it like there's nothing there. And then with the power steering again, going in and around those turning radiuses are very sharp and pretty awesome, which you'll see very shortly. Realistically, the only downside to a GR is that mower deck. Again, you'll see it is a stamp deck, not a fabricated deck. It is durable, it's going to last, but long-term, longevity-wise, again, it would be nice to see a fabricated deck. Will we see that in the near future from Kubota? Very doubtful, but that would be a fantastic upgrade to this lineup if they could come up with a new deck for it. That's kind of brings to the end of the overview part of the GR part. Now let's actually jump to trying these units out, and we'll start off first by doing the turning radiuses. overview of the comparison for turning radius. Both do a beautiful job going in and around obstacles. Again, the T series is in that 12 to 14 inch turning radius, and your GR is going to be down in that 8 to 9 inch turning radius. Both do a fantastic job, and you can see why. You'll see the bracketry either up on top or down below on the T series. That lets that wheel pretty much turn sideways. Biggest difference between the two is not so much the turning radius itself, but is the ease of actually doing it. Both do it really well, but again, with power steering, the GR is basically you do it with one finger, turn it as tight as possible. Biggest comparison between the two is like a GR is going to go in and around a well casing, not 100% turn around it, but pretty close. That's pretty tight. And a T series, you know, you're in around those small trees, no issue. It's going to go up and around it and not cause you any issues, and you're going to be still cutting grass, no problem at all. So let's jump to their next test of cutting some long grass. you can tell from the test, both cut the grass equally well. You know, like another couple swipes there, and that whole section's nicely cleaned up and ready to be cut the grass all the time there. At the end of the day, the GR is obviously going to do a better job whenever it gets into heavier wet grass that is obviously tall but very dry. And while doing it, this T-Series got, well, very hot. It was working as hard as it can, trying to keep up there. The GR, again, is hardly working and didn't really bog down at all. The T-Series did it, like I said, did a fantastic job, bogged down just a little bit. At the end of the day, the biggest difference you're going to see is in fuel consumption at that. The T-Series working as hard as it can. GR is just kind of putting along there. So whenever you get into a few acres of that, or even just a few swipes, you're going to really notice it on the T-Series compared to the GR. So last but not least, let's go up and down a couple steep hills and see if we can get the T-Series to stop working. I just want to see him roll it. And that's the last we ever saw of him.
He just went over the hill.
He just went over the hill. He's just gone.
You can tell his mom to tell.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. You see the tracks here, and he's just gone. As you can see with that test going up and down those steep hills, obviously the T-Series spins out about halfway. It did go pretty good up there, you know, they are very, very steep hills. But again, that's what the GR's for. That's why you pay that extra money. It's for that all-wheel drive to get you in and out of those rough areas, up those steep hills, you know, whether you're blowing snow and it's kind of slippery out. That's what it's for. That's what the test was about. That's why we did those 3 tests, whether it be turning radius, long grass, or going up and down these hills. You can kind of get a head-to-head comparison about which mower might be the right one for you. And if you did enjoy today's video, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, please down below. Thank you.